Hey, what's up, everybody? Hello, hello. How are you? This is April with astrolada.com, and I am doing your weekly astrology for May 24th through May 31st of 2019. So the last week of May of this year. And then we're going to be into June, which means the year is going to be, we're going to be at the halfway mark already. Oh my gosh. So crazy, right? Hey, hello to everybody in the chat. Gift from Virgo. You are at work. That figures a Virgo would be at work, right? Right now. So aren't you supposed to be working, Virgo? Instead of watching YouTube. But thank you for being here though. So yeah, so what I do is I go over the astrology from one Friday to the next, because the day Friday is ruled by Venus. And so I'm Venus ruled heavily. So I just do one Friday to the next. That's how we roll. Okay, so I also usually do a celebrity example of a natal chart and see what's going on in their world based on astrology, and see, if we can tell, like, if there's certain planetary transits going on for them that's bringing a certain event about, or certain behaviors. But actually, I couldn't really find anything that's hot at the moment. This week coming up is pretty quiet. This week that we're in right now, or that's just passed, is pretty quiet astrologically, meaning there's not, well, we did have the sun and Mercury go into Gemini. We just had that, yes, just a few days ago. And then we have, yeah, that was like the star. They were the stars of the show of the week's astrology this past week. But we don't have any planetary ingresses. We only have a couple of aspects to talk about for this coming week from now through the 31st. Excuse me. Psalm West birth chart. Oh, that would be interesting. Did they put out it? That's a boy, right? I can't remember the new Kardashian West baby. Is that a boy or a girl? Did they give the baby's birth date? I'm sure they probably didn't give the birth time. As popular as astrology is becoming now, which has its good and bad, they know, like, especially because we do astrology on YouTube. Even celebrities peep YouTube, and I'm sure they know, like, we be rating their charts. So that's a good one. I can try to look it up if there's time. Psalm is a boy. I think so too. But anyway, so we are inching away. Venus is inching away from Uranus. In the next few days, I would say the Venus-Uranus conjunction can be counted as dissipated already, and pretty much like fading away. But it has been fun. And I have seen actually some neon stuff pop up again and be popular. Uranus, it rules like electricity. So you think neon, like neon colors, like neon signs run by electricity. Uranus's energy, whenever there's a planet that crosses it, especially Venus, because Venus does rule fashion, style, beauty, looks, and all of that jazz. Even yeah, fashion and style, what we wear, and colors and stuff like that. So when we have that planet cross Uranus, we're gonna see some crazy style, crazy fashion, and neon colors. I noticed the colors that are popular at the moment, because I follow a lot of beauty pages, like on Instagram and stuff, especially Instagram and Twitter. I notice patterns like that with the transits. So yeah, we've got, some neon stuff popping up. But yeah, Venus is moving away from Uranus. She's moving away from that buzz. And then she's going to start making aspects to Pluto and Saturn, which I'll talk about as the time gets there. So she'll become a little more serious. Venus in Taurus is normally a very solid Venus sign. It's like it likes what it likes, and it likes routine. It likes things to be its way and stay the same. Doesn't really like a lot of change. when she was around Uranus, it's just like this buzz of excitement, like, okay, I'll try different things. But then when she gets in aspects to Saturn and Pluto, it's going to be a little bit of a different story. So, but yeah, we will talk about that. Okay, so now let's get to the horoscope of the week. Now, because there are no planetary ingresses into new signs, or full moons or new moons or anything like that to do by sign, I will not be doing anything by sign. Boo, thumbs down. I know. Bye bye. That's fine. I'm talking about the energy of the week, and it'll be too complicated for me to go through each aspect for each sign. I'll be on here for like 4 hours, okay? and don't really have time for that today. So I'll just let you guys know this is in general, like collectively, how we're going to be affected by these aspects between the planets. So let's start with the 29th. Now, before that, so I'm doing the 24th through the 31st. So before that, you know what? There's not really a lot going on in the sky. We're just going to be moving through whatever planets are in whatever signs and be basking within that energy. The only thing that's really going to be shifting is the moon, which it does always change signs every 2.5 days. So nothing really major, right? But once we get to the 29th, though, that's when we have Mercury square Neptune. It's like the 29th is the exact square between Mercury and Neptune, and then the next day, the 30th, is Mercury opposing Jupiter. You know what? Let me double check because I was looking at an ephemeris. Let me just double check my work really quick. I'm having a Sun trine Saturn personal transit right now, so Saturn's like, double check your work and make sure it's correct before you're giving out the facts and information. So did I let me make sure I calculated that correctly. Yeah, because Jupiter is going to be at about 20 degrees and Neptune is 18 degrees. So let's see. Yeah, on the 30th. Yeah, I would say on the 30th is when the 29th is square Neptune, and then the 30th is when it is opposing Jupiter. Yes. Okay. Make sure I'm correct. So with that being said, Mercury is communication and it's thoughts. Mercury is information and the spread of information and messages. So and Mercury can also rule driving, like the act of driving, because you use your hands and you use your mind and your sense of direction and everything. And then Mercury is communication, not just by speech, but also writing, text messaging, emailing, DMs on social media, applications, all of that is Mercury. So when it makes a challenging aspect to Neptune and to Jupiter, okay, so Neptune is the planet that can rule, it's like a fog. I always describe Neptune that way, as it's a fog, meaning like it is uncertainty, it is unclear. So it is, when we combine that with communication can be uncertain and unclear. Now, Jupiter is the planet that rules doing it big and seeing the big picture. So it's like, both Neptune and Jupiter rule Pisces. Um, I mostly just use Neptune as the ruler of Pisces. It resonates more with me. But Jupiter is the ancient ruler of Pisces. Before Neptune was discovered, Jupiter, and I can see Pisces having some Jupiterian characteristics too. It's about beliefs, and it could be about religion and like religious beliefs and practices and belief in a higher power, belief in a brighter day, and it's belief in beyond what you see in the physical. So both Jupiter and Neptune can rule those to some degree, but they have their own ways of going about it. So with that being said, a Mercury square Neptune, Mercury opposing Jupiter, those are challenging aspects. So what they can do is open the doors to our minds being more imaginative and creative, that's the good part about it, is both Jupiter and Neptune are like, just go for it, just do it. And if you feel it, just do it. So we may be feeling like that. Our mindset, Mercury, may be more in that direction. And that can be good for some things, even though these are challenging aspects, maybe like for certain goals. Like if you're a dreamer, like if you have goals that require you to have an open mind and see beyond just, the straight and narrow path, the black and white, and it's only this way or that way, then these transits, even though they're challenging, they will open your mind to different possibilities of things, right? And yes, if you are a creative person, any type of creating, any type, excuse me, any type, any art, any musicians, any creative stuff, these are challenging aspects, but they will open your mind to more of what you do, which is create, and it'll flow more. The reason why these are challenging aspects is because, they will make you more out of touch with reality and practicality. That's the problem with it. Okay, that's where the challenge lies. So with practical things, excuse me, like I mentioned earlier, Mercury rules driving. Mercury square Neptune, that any challenging Mercury Neptune aspect is going to give issues with paying attention on the road, maybe because you're too busy listening to music. Neptune rules music. So maybe your mind is just wandering off into la la land somewhere. Um, Stuff like that can happen under a transit like that. And then, that's when people can like cause accidents and things like that from not paying attention, or it can have you lose your sense of direction. Like when you're driving, you can get lost easily under a Mercury square Neptune transit too. So you want to be aware of that. Around the end of the week, next week is when it's like the strongest. And then Mercury opposing Jupiter. Yeah, this is do it big. Just jump and be excited about something that you want, and just go for it. Don't worry about the consequences. But the opposition, the challenge can be overdoing things. Whenever we have a challenging aspect of Jupiter, there is a risk of overdoing. So, and promising more than you can deliver. Actually, with both challenging aspects, Neptune and Jupiter, you could promise more than you can deliver. With the Neptune square to Mercury, it is like, you know, you may not remember things because it can cause like brain fog. So it's like you may have said something, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then it just floated off into no man's land, like in the outer space somewhere. With Mercury opposing Jupiter, that is being aware of things, and you're like, yeah, I can do this. And in your mind, you see this big goal, and you're like, I know I can do this. I know I can achieve that. But you don't look at like anything in a cautionary way, You don't look at the risks involved, or maybe you do, but you don't really care. You're just like, I'm just gonna go do this. So a Mercury opposing Jupiter, yeah, that can cause you to say, yeah, I could do this. So, excuse me, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. But then it's like, oh, you're reminded later, like this can't happen the way that you wanted to, or maybe it can't happen at all because XYZ that you didn't look at. You didn't look at the fact that, I don't know, whatever the consequences are to, and it's also like, you can get you in trouble. Both these aspects can get people in trouble because, especially being mutable signs can be very tricky. Mutable signs are very youthful in nature. All of them are in some sort of way. Well, Pisces, I would say, is the least youthful because it is the last sign of the zodiac. It is like the spiritual grandma of all the signs. But, Virgo and Sagittarius and Gemini, they are super youthful, which, yeah, like I said, it could be kind of mischievous. So when we have, this is Mercury and Gemini. And, Gemini energy, in itself, it gets a bad reputation for being for telling white lies and being untruthful, but because the mind of Gemini moves so fast that maybe they do mean something in the moment, but then the moment passes and then their mind is off to something else. And maybe they did change their mind. Maybe they wanted something or they agreed with something. Yeah, 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 in that moment. But then it's like in the next moment, oh, well, now I see this. So that gets the Gemini energy into trouble a lot. And also, yeah, sometimes they can like just pick up little bits and pieces of info and run with it without getting all the facts completely. And then people that gets Gemini energy in trouble, or Gemini energy in the air can get us in trouble for in that type of way too. So when we have a mutable Mercury that's already like that, and then it's square Neptune in a mutable sign, Neptune can rule deceit. Um, putting seeing no boundary between yourself and someone else, or even yourself and someone else's property. Look, I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. These challenging aspects between Mercury in a mutable sign and then the other two outer planets in mutable signs, the negative aspects, the lower vibrational stuff that can happen is it can cause some thievery, okay? Like people can be deceptive as far as like stealing information, especially with Mercury, stealing vehicles, stealing things like your debit card, even your debit card information, because this makes people see no boundary between themselves and your property, themselves and your information. It's just like, oh, this is just what I want, so I'm just going to grab it. Why not? um yeah, so just be careful driving this coming week and try not to promise more than you can deliver. Maybe do things like write things down, take notes. That could be excuse me, that could be helpful. But also protect your stuff, protect your info, protect your this can also make us forgetful, these Mercury challenging aspects. It can make us forgetful and actually leave our phone or our keys or our debit cards like laying around somewhere, and not everybody is going to be truthful and honest enough to say, oh, hey, sir or ma'am, you forgot this, especially under a transit like that. Oh my gosh. You guys, this reminds me, um, I was just talking with one of my astrologer friends last night about the singer Lil Mo. Not everybody's going to know who she is. I know there's people watching from different countries and that are from different generations and backgrounds and everything, but Lil Mo is a singer. She was really popular in the very early 2000s. She has a very beautiful voice, but she did mostly a lot of like duets, or did choruses, or what do they call it? A hook or whatever, chorus for different like artists. Um, but her husband is a Gemini sun. And during Mars being in Gemini, he did some really shady stuff, and he stole a lady's debit card at Dave and Buster's when he was out with his kids. And he stole this lady's debit card and charged it up right there at Dave and Buster's. The lady was still there. She pulled up her bank account, saw that it was being charged still at Dave and Buster's. So anyway, cameras tracked down who it was and everything. So he got busted. Um he got busted for stealing her debit card, and he was just like, oh, well, here, I'll give you one of the playing cards to be able to play at Dave and Buster's. If you don't know what Dave and Buster's is because you're from another country or whatever, it's pretty much a place where they have a lot of games, they have food, they have a bar. It could be for adults or children, depending upon which section you're in. It's like a little fun zone type of an establishment. So yeah, you get these playing cards so you could play games. So he was like, well, here, lady, you can have one of these playing cards, after he charged up her debit card for like $100 something with food and cards and everything. And he was just trying to deny it, but he was on camera. It was horrible. It's like the total low vibrational mutable energy. Like he displayed the epitome of that. Okay, the epitome. So I was joking about, it's not funny, but under a transit of of like these Mercury square, you know, these transits, Mercury square Neptune, opposing Jupiter, immutable signs, I could see more things like this happening. I think there was a Mercury conjunct Neptune or something very something Mercury and Neptune that was a challenging aspect a couple months ago, and the makeup artist and makeup mogul Jeffree Star, and he's also on YouTube as well. He had his warehouse broken into, and someone stole, like, they stole a lot of his makeup, and I think maybe some like sensitive information as far as his products that he was going to that hadn't even come out yet. There was a very strong Neptune and Mercury. I want to say it was a conjunction like during Pisces season, and Mercury was even retrograde. I want to say it was around that time. But I remember looking it up at that time. And that was a major theft. And, you know, people can get butthurt all they want and say, oh, well, I'm a Pisces and I don't steal, or I'm a Gemini, I'm a Sag. I don't. Well, good for you. I'm not just talking about just only you're made up of all signs. Like, okay, so, you know, but I'm not saying every single mutable sign is gonna be a liar and a thief. But this energy, just being completely honest, you guys know I've been doing this, at least on this platform, for almost 2.5 years now. And I let you guys know every time there's some mutable stuff in the air that's challenging, because I track, this is my job. I track the transits and look at news, and not just news from celebrities, you know, but like everybody around me and people on social media, real people that are like, hey, my car got broken into. Oh, mine too. Oh, guess what? Someone broke into my house. And I look at the transits. I'm like, yo, there's all this mutable, challenging stuff in the air. People just, the thieves just, yeah. They just come out like, especially when there's Neptune involved. That's the really bad one, you know. So yeah. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this picture because I was joking about I mean, it's not that joking of a matter, but I'm just like a jokester. I have the sun conjunct Mercury in my chart, um in my natal chart. So I'm just a jokester by nature. But I want to show you guys this this picture. Do you guys remember Dora the Explorer? Hold on, let me show this real quick. Dora the Explorer. And you remember Swiper, the fox, Swiper no swiping? He was like a fox that was a little thief. So this is what this reminds me of. Swiper no swiping. Look at this. This is Swiper, the thieving fox or whatever. They would always have to tell him, Swiper no swiping, like, or else he would steal things, you know? That's what this energy reminds me of. And I was joking about, this is Lil Mo's husband snatching her wig off because Lil Mo does wear a lot of wigs, and embarrassing her, like leaving her just bald headed, you know, with the embarrassment of him like stealing, because she's a public figure. So of course, you know, the lady who was the victim of the theft took it to social media and was like, hello, excuse me, little Mo, but your husband stole my debit card, and the whole world saw it. So it's just like, wow, the embarrassment. Like, she may as well walk around with no wig, just bald to the world because of her swiper no swiping, negative energy, negative side of Gemini husband. Like, geez Louise. Anyway, so yeah, don't be a victim of a swiper this week, you guys. I'm telling you. Okay, so anyway, that's the Mercury transit that's going on towards the end of the week. But you know what I think will be a little bit of a lifesaver is, at the same time, on the 31st is when it's exact. We will have Venus in a trine aspect to Saturn. So Venus rules our money, rules our material things that we like. Saturn solidifies things, anchors things down, keeps them weighed down and from floating off. Okay. So maybe this energy being in the mix at the same time will help these negative Mercury aspects to not be as negative or not be as bad as they could be. Okay. So maybe there could be some, because Saturn is about the consequences of our actions, you know? And like I said, it weighs things down. And if you have weighing things down, aspecting a planet of the material, so maybe some people, if they do get swiped, maybe they get it quickly replaced, or maybe there's consequences that help things to work out more in their favor, even though some unfortunate event may have happened where someone was deceitful in some kind of way, or whatever. So, Venus trine Saturn in the mix with all the mutable craziness can definitely help out, to balance things out a little bit. But we will experience some of both. But Venus trine Saturn, what else does it bring us? So, this is a transit to where some people may be looking at things in more of a long-term perspective. It's like, the Mercury activity that's going on will be very big picture, very dreamer, right? But Venus trine Saturn will kind of help to bring some reality checks to some stuff. Like if we're over here, oh, la di da di da, I think this great thing could happen, and you're not even wanting to look at anything like, you know, weighing out pros and cons. It's just all pros in your mind. Venus trine Saturn will be like, no, wait, hold up a second now. What about this, and this? Is this going to materialize? Is this going to manifest? Is it realistic? That's what that aspect does. So it is a good time during the end of next week, especially to, yeah, be a dreamer, be a big picture vision person about things that you want. And then, you can tap into Venus trine Saturn to actually maybe put some plans into action, so things really do materialize and they don't just stay up there in your mind or float off, like you say things and they just, I swear, like people who are very mercurial in nature, if I ever deal with them in my personal life and I get like frustrated with them, it's because maybe they'll say something and then, but you know what? I'm mercurial too because I have the sun conjunct Mercury in my chart. So I can do the same thing sometimes. But then other people do it, but I'll still get frustrated with them. Whatever. I'm still a human, whatever. So, but yeah, it's just like, but I'm a little bit more solid because I'm heavy earth energy. So when I deal with someone who's very like mercurial, immutable, and they're just like, oh yeah, say something in the moment, and then I remind them of it later, they're like, I never said that. I'm like, are you serious? So do you think that when you say words, they just float off and disappear, like into thin air or something? I used to date someone who was a Gemini moon. And I remember when we first started dating, I would hold him to everything that he said. And he even asked me, he's like, why do you do that? Why do you hold me to everything that I say? And I'm like, why not? If you say it, you need it, right? You say it for a reason. And I even said, do you think words just float off and disappear and dissipate into thin air? Because they don't in my world. Okay. So, yeah, I feel like there's a mixture of things going on in this coming week, so that can be like the Venus and Saturn aspect. I feel can help us to not have things just float off. It's like we'll actually try to put things into, well, Venus is not an action planet per se, but it'll still help us to kind of, want to materialize things to work out. Venus trine Saturn, this aspect in itself can have people, because Venus does rule relationships, maybe it can have people really thinking about the direction of their relationships and, asking those important questions like, where do you see us in the next 5 years? Do you see us being together? Do you see us really building a life together? Do you see this? Do you see that? So it's like interviewing someone. Saturn, it rules corporations and big business. And you know how if you have any type of corporate jobs or big business jobs, you have to go through the interview process. So it's just like, what are your biggest strengths and weaknesses? Like all those corny questions that they ask at every single corporate job interview. Um, maybe is Saturn aspecting Venus can have people doing that when it comes to dating, perhaps. Like I said, we had Venus and Uranus, which is like, woo, what's new? What's good? Who's out there? Okay, thank you. Next, online dating, swipe left, swipe right, whatever people do on those apps. I've never been on them, but I've heard jokes cracked about them in stories. Okay. So you swipe a certain way for a certain thing. Woo. Okay. It's like just a big old game, right? But when we have a Venus Saturn aspect, it's not a game anymore. It's serious business. It's like, okay, hold on. Wait, is this something that can really stick? Is this person somebody that's going to be a ride or die for me long term? Saturn energy rules that ride or die, meaning like somebody who's going to be there for you no matter what, no matter who, no, you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter what you do, they're going to stick by you. Okay. And then Venus is relationships. So yeah, people may be looking at, are you a ride or die, or are you just like, you're here as long as it's like conditional. Are you here like on conditional terms, or are you here for the ride no matter what? So people will be maybe thinking about that. Venus trine Saturn. Well, Venus is money, finances, material stuff, and some people may be thinking, maybe the challenging mutable Mercury stuff may have people initially thinking woohoo, but then the Venus trine Saturn be like, well, hold on, wait a second. I don't know if I really need this thing that I'm gonna purchase. I'm being a big dreamer about it. Like, yeah, I can afford this. Oh, $600 a month payments. Oh, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But then Venus trine Saturn is like, no, wait, hold up. Can you really afford this? Can we really afford this in the long run? Can we really see ourselves paying that much? Oh, I don't know about that. So it may have people going back and forth with what they want to do as far as like purchases and relationships and all the stuff that Venus rules in our regular world. So, yeah. Um Robin says, I'm a Gemini moon with Earth dominant chart. I frustrate my own self with my fickle nature. Yeah. I could see that happening. Having that duality there. But those are the major aspects that are going on this week, you guys. Like I said, there's no planets moving into new signs to talk about for all the signs. That's just a general energy that is affecting all of us as a collective. And yeah, if I were to go through the signs for each one, oh my God, because it's two planets aspecting each other. So it's like two houses for each side. Can't really do that. So Saturn is your favorite planet, Emily and Margaret. Yeah, that's cool. Are you Saturn ruled? Are you a Capricorn or an Aquarius, perhaps, or a 10th houser, or, Saturn in your first house or any of that stuff? Saturn strong anywhere? Okay, so yeah, but that's it for the horoscope, you guys. Let me see if I can find information on Psalm West. And I have never looked at this baby's chart. So this would be like just live impromptu on the spot. You know? Okay, when was this baby born? Birth certificate reveals all the details. TMZ. Ooh, let's see what you got, TMZ. What you got? Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's see. TMZ claims they have the birth certificate. Let's see. Da 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 da. Oh, they have the birth time, you guys. Oh, okay. Psalm is a boy. Okay. Ooh, we got the birth time and everything. Okay, okay. So let's pull up baby Psalm West chart, okay? Um, so bear with me, you guys, because like I said, this is on the spot. This was not planned. This is a true live reading here that we're gonna do. So if you guys don't know who Psalm West is, that's Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's new baby boy that was born on the 9th of excuse me, the 9th of May. And he was born through a surrogate mother. So Kim didn't actually give birth to him. It's It's their baby, but somebody else carried the baby. So May 4th. Oh my gosh, that's probably going to be an ongoing joke with this baby. May the 4th be with you. You know how you guys know how people do that with people do that whole thing with like the Star Wars thing or whatever with May 4th every single year. It's super corny, but people love it. Okay, 7:02 p.m. And of course, born in LA. So Los Angeles. Okay. Oh wow, that baby's got a lot of Taurus energy. And a Scorpio. Woo, hold on. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna pull up his chart here, you guys. Let's look at Vertex, part of fortune. We'll add Juno in there for kicks. Let's see this baby's chart. So I'm gonna show you guys the chart. I'm gonna screen share. Okay, let me make sure I got all the information right. Oh, 5/9. Oh, the baby was born on the 9th of May. See? Okay, let me edit. May 9th. So I take back all the stupid jokes. I did, but the 4 and the 9 is kind of hard to read because they have like wording over the numbers. Okay, so the baby still has a lot of Taurus and is a Scorpio rising still. Wow. Okay. So I'm gonna show you guys the baby's chart so we can look at it together and see what's going on here. Okay. Oops. This window. Okay. All right. So let's screen share real quick. Okay. So here is Psalm West chart. Oh, wow. So a Scorpio rising. That's interesting. Hold on. Okay. I had to take a sip of water. So, interesting. Okay. So the baby, so Kim Kardashian is a Sagittarius rising, a Libra sun, and a Pisces moon. And her Pisces moon is in the fourth house. So since she has a fourth house moon, fourth house energy, it acts very similarly to Cancer. So if her moon is in the Cancer house of her chart, she's very Cancerian in nature, emotionally. So that's why this baby was given a Cancer moon. And the ninth house corresponds to the energy of Sagittarius. So that's where the baby gets the moon will tell a lot about the mom. So yeah, the baby's moon is in the ninth house. Kim is the Sagittarius rising. Okay, so I can see that. The baby's moon is in an opposition to Saturn. And Kim, I believe she has a stellium of planets in her 10th house. I know she has some 10th house stuff in her chart. So 10th house and Saturn's energies, they correspond to one another as well. So that's where the baby gets the moon opposing Saturn from. Um, and the moon opposing Pluto, like directly, like to the degree, 23 degrees. Yeah. Kim has the sun conjunct Pluto in her chart, and she has Mercury in Scorpio. So she's very Plutonian in nature. So that's the baby's moon opposing Pluto. So you can see the mother's characteristics. The baby does have moon trine Neptune, which is a good aspect. And Neptune is in Pisces, and Kim is a Pisces moon. So that's where the baby, gets the moon and Neptune stuff from Kim's Pisces moon. The baby does have Venus, I'm sorry, moon square Venus. And, Kim has Venus in Virgo in her chart. And Venus in Virgo does kind of struggle a little bit. Venus struggles a little bit being in the sign of Virgo. I mean, because it's uncomfortable in Virgo. It's itchy in Virgo. It's like, Venus is about beauty and feeling beautiful and being satisfied, and Venus in Virgo is never satisfied. Um it doesn't always feel beautiful. It's very critical. It's a critical Venus. So I could see like a moon square Venus is like issues with Venus, issues with maybe he may have some issues with the women in his family. He's in a family full of girls and women, like an abundance of females in his family. So maybe there could be some issues, maybe getting along with some of them with this aspect, or maybe like between the head and the heart, what he wants from women. Maybe there's something challenging there. You know what? I know somebody with this position, and they are kind of like confused and wishy-washy sometimes about what they want, like as far as from women, because they have a Cancer moon square Venus in Libra. So it's like, this baby has a Cancer moon square Venus in Aries. So he may like Aries women who are like go-getters, and they're always wearing sports attire and workout gear, and they're always moving around, and they're always like they're kind of bossy in nature and stuff. But then his emotional needs from females is Cancerian energy. So he needs someone to be soft and nurturing, but yet he's attracted to maybe the fast moving women. So that could be something that he goes through when he grows up. We'll just have to see. Now, the sun and moon are in a good aspect to one another. They're in a sextile, so that means mom and dad, their relationship. It's probably pretty easygoing for the most part. So, with Kim being a Sagittarius rising and Kanye being a Gemini sun, um, Gemini is the seventh house for Sagittarius. So that means that his sun and whatever else he may have in Gemini probably lands in her seventh house, which means they are able to compromise and get along pretty well. And then plus they both have the same moon sign, which is Pisces. And his moon would land in her fourth house. So that's comfort. They're comfortable with one another. The moon is super important when it comes to couples, and especially parents if you're going to have kids, because you can see the relationship and the aspects between the sun and the moon. So at least they have a sextile, the baby does. So that does tell about mom and dad's relationship a little bit. Now what else did he get from Kanye? Did they say Kanye? No, he's not a Taurus rising. He has something else in Taurus. I can't remember what he has in Taurus, but he has, I think, like Mercury, or I don't know. He has some Taurus energy. But they said he's a Cancer rising, I think. Yeah, but anyway, he got Mars in Gemini, so he has at least one planet in Gemini from his dad, that's actually directly in Gemini. And what else can we say about the baby's chart? Oh, look at this. He's got Neptune and Lilith in the fourth house. So fourth house can also be an indicative of mother's energy. And his mom is very Lilith. I think Kim actually has Sun conjunct Lilith in her chart. You know what? Instead of saying I think, how about this? I will pull up um Kim Kardashian astro theme. Let's see. Okay. So Kim Kardashian, let's pull up her asteroids, or yeah, it shows Lilith, right? Yeah, so she has a sun conjunct Lilith in her chart. So she is very Lilith-like, Black Moon Lilith-like. She's looked at as like being a vixen type or whatever. So the baby having Lilith in the fourth house of the mother definitely tells that. Neptune here, Kim is a Sag ascendant with Neptune in the first, and she's a Pisces moon. So she's very Neptunian in nature. So, and she's got the moon square Neptune as well. Very Neptunian, Kim Kardashian. So Neptune in the fourth house of the mother makes a lot of sense. In the 10th house of the father, the baby has Leo. There's no planets here. Let's see Kanye West chart really quick. So that way, we can see how a child, even as a baby, if you pull up their chart, you can see what they got from what parent. I always find that to be fascinating. So let's see, what's the source of the original source is not given of his birth time. But Cancer rising, I could see working for him though. Okay, so whatever. So, let's see. Oh, and he has Mercury conjunct Lilith. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so does he have any Leo? Well, he has Saturn in Leo. Does he have any fifth house stuff? Not really. What's the ruler of the fifth? Where's the ruler of the fifth in his chart? Yeah, nah, sun energy. Well, he does have the sun conjunct Jupiter. Jupiter can expand upon the sun and expand upon the ego and make someone kind of Leo-esque, you know what I'm saying? So, that could be how the baby got a Leo midheaven. A Scorpio rising, maybe he got that from Kim because, once again, she's got, sun conjunct Pluto. She's got Mercury in Scorpio, you know? So, maybe that's where he got the Scorpio energy from. What else can we see in the baby's chart? Let's see. Kim has North and South Node, Leo and Aquarius. Kanye has his nodes in Libra, Aries. The baby's nodes are Cancer, Capricorn. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, so what else can we say about the baby's chart? As far as like, I'm not gonna look too much into personality because it's a baby, but I'm just looking at like what the baby inherited from parents. And the sun aspects can tell about the father. So sun in Taurus. What does Kanye have in Taurus? He has Mercury in Taurus. Yeah, I was right about that. And he has Venus and Mars conjunct in Taurus as well. So he's got a lot of Taurus planets. So that's why the baby has where'd the baby chart go? That's why the baby's a Taurus sun and Mercury conjunct Uranus as well. Sorry, excuse me. So yeah, that's why the baby has some Taurus energy. He got that from his father. And then sun sextile Neptune. Well, Kanye West is also a Pisces moon. And his moon makes a square to Neptune as well, just like Kim has in her chart. So that can show like a father that has a dash of Neptune in their astrological makeup. And then sun and moon, not only does this show mother and father's relationship, but the father's sun energy, the father's energy could be connected to moon energy, which means like the father can have some Cancerian traits. And Kanye West may be a Cancer rising. Excuse me. So Sun, Trine, Pluto, and Saturn. So let me see. Let's look at Kanye West. Does he have any like heavy Pluto, Saturn stuff in his chart? Let's see. I think he has the Sun trine Pluto in his chart and the Sun sextile Saturn. So I guess you can say that. And he's got Venus and Mars in the 10th house, so that could be kind of Saturnian energy. And let's see, 8th house. Yeah. I don't really see anything else on the spot that can point to like Saturn and Pluto energy that the baby would get from the father. Just those type of aspects. So anyhow, that is baby Psalm West's birth chart. As far as when he grows up, what will he want to do? Well, he's definitely going to be a family guy. I mean, with the Cancer moon, he's going to be a family oriented person. It seems like the Kardashians are pretty close knit family people. They all stick together. They have family businesses. So, the baby is going to be really into his family and staying very close to them. And the North Node with the moon and Cancer, well, let me see. He may or may not go into like music and stuff. I mean, a Mercury and Uranus conjunction can be this is a good producer aspect actually because Uranus rules technology, electricity. A lot of producers have good Aquarius and Uranian energy within their charts. Let's see, does Kanye have any Uranian energy? Well, he has Venus and Mars opposing Uranus. That can make for some Uranian stuff. And then he has Mercury in the 11th house. So that's Mercury, the hands and mind and everything combined with 11th house, which is very Uranian energy. So yeah, so that's where the baby got that from. So he could want to do some producing, perhaps. It's a possibility, but he may, with the north node with the moon and in the ninth house, and the north node is on the with the ruler of the ninth house, he may want to do something else. Maybe he'll want to be a teacher. Maybe he'll want to do some kind of like foreign abroad, humanitarian work or something, to where he's teaching, building schools over in other countries or something like that, like with this right here, as being his purpose. But he does have the ruler of his midheaven, which is the sun, in the seventh house. So whatever he does is, well, having a midheaven in Leo in general, that is someone who they may end up doing something to be in the spotlight. They may end up doing something in entertainment. The ruler being in the seventh house, that can mean something artsy, perhaps. But I mean, only time will tell. I don't really like to get too deep into babies' charts like that. But yeah, time will tell and see what he wants to do. So that's it, you guys. That's it for this week's broadcast for my horoscope / coffee talk. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something maybe from me showing you the new Kardashian West babies chart. And I hope you guys have a really good week. Kanye West has been doing Sunday services. Oh, interesting. Let's see. Research about priestesses. Okay. Yeah, I'm just seeing what you guys were saying in the chat. Huh. Okay. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good weekend and have a good week. Remember what I said about being careful driving this coming week, protecting your assets, protecting your information, because swipers will be out there trying to swipe. Okay, I'm not lying about that. And if you would like a book of reading with me, my information, I'll put it in the description box. I'm on astrolada.com, so you guys can find me there. And I will see you guys hopefully next week. So next week, or if I am here next week, I say if, you guys, because I do have a couple of other jobs that I do besides astrology, and one of them is on call. So I will get a text message sometimes, maybe as soon as an hour before a job is available, and I'd have to get up and go, and so my schedule is kind of unpredictable. But I do still try to make it here every week, even if it is a little bit late, like Friday into Saturday. I still try to stay consistent, but sometimes I get called on these jobs and they're a long shift, and I'll be exhausted, like knocking out while on camera. So if you ever don't see me, it's usually something like that that's going on. But anyway, so I should be here next week to talk about the new moon in Gemini and the start of June, and we'll see what the energy's like then. And I'll do a horoscope for you guys for the new moon if I am here next week. So until then, peace. Have a good, safe Memorial Day weekend for my American people, and take care of yourselves.